Today on Rappler. Senator Hontiveros tells Vice President Duterte to account for her use of confidential funds. A USDA report shows the Philippines overtaking China as the world's top rice importer. The Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson says it is disheartening to hear doubts about their defense of the West Philippine Sea. The government hands out 2.95 billion pesos in PUV fuel subsidies. The Department of Information and Communications Technology wants 300 million pesos in confidential funds. The Cultural Center of the Philippines is set to bring British theater to Philippine cinemas. And Mexican lawmakers hold a hearing on UFOs featuring alleged alien bodies.
Hindi ko kailangan ang respeto mo, VP Sara. Ang hinihingi ko sa iyo at ng taong bayan ay accountability. Kaya i-account nyo na lang kung para saan ang hinihingi nyong confidential funds.
Senate Deputy Minority Leader Hontiveros says this in response to Vice President Sara Duterte's latest tirade against her. The opposition senator says if Duterte cannot respect her fellow government officials, she should respect how public funds are supposed to be spent. Hontiveros was reacting to Duterte's statement to media on Tuesday, September 12, that she doesn't respect Hontiveros and ACT Teachers representative Franz Castro. Duterte has been making headlines recently over her use of confidential funds. A Commission on Audit report found the OVP under Duterte spent 125 million pesos in confidential funds in 2022, despite not having a line item for it in the 2022 General Appropriations Act. A report from the United States Department of Agriculture says the Philippines overtakes China as the world's top importer of rice. The USDA projects the Philippines will hit 3.8 million metric tons of rice imports for marketing year 2023-2024, as opposed to China's decreased projection of 3.5 million MT. The US also projects a lower global rice production until 2024. The report adds global rice prices increased due to stronger demand and lower production, even before India, which accounts for about 40% of the world trade, announced its export ban in July. The Philippines is primarily affected by India's ban and is now seeking to augment supplies through Vietnam. Both governments are set to sign a pact on rice trade soon. The Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea says it was disheartening to hear doubts about its capability to defend the country's territory on its own. In a post, Commodore J. Tariela says the Coast Guard will, quote, continue to serve and protect our exclusive economic zone irrespective of any external assistance. This comes a day after Philippine senators questioned the presence of the U.S. military in a resupply mission to Ayungin Shoal. In a hearing, Senators Robin Padilla and Bato de la Rosa questioned if it was appropriate for the U.S. Navy to be present at the West Philippine Sea during a Philippine resupply mission to Marines stationed at the grounded BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal. The mission involves the PCG's escorts to civilian boats commissioned by the Armed Forces of the Philippines. This after China has regularly harassed and blocked Philippine ships on resupply missions to Ayungin. The government begins distributing 2.95 billion pesos in fuel subsidies for operators of public utility vehicles to mitigate the impact of rising fuel prices. The Land Transportation, Franchising and Regulatory Board says about 1.36 million beneficiaries will receive varying amounts of assistance. The LTFRB will handle the distribution to 280,000 beneficiaries. Modern jeepneys and modern UV Express operators will receive 10,000 pesos in subsidies, while traditional jeepneys, taxis, buses, and other PUVs will receive 6,500 pesos. About 930,000 tricycle drivers and operators will receive 1,000 pesos through the Department of the Interior and local government, while delivery service riders will get 1,200 pesos through the Department of Information and Communications Technology. The amounts will be credited to the operator's land bank account and may be claimed at the following gas stations through their fuel subsidy card. The Department of Information and Communications Technology is seeking 300 million pesos in confidential funds for 2024 to be used against cybercrime and scammers. DICT Secretary Ivan Uy says going after scammers, which is part of the agency's mandate, requires all the resources possible.
Nakatali po ang ating mga kamay kung wala po tayong proper tools in order to go after them.
Text scams were a sticky issue, especially during the height of the pandemic, with the government rolling out SIM registration to address this, but the process has gaps. The National Bureau of Investigation even told lawmakers that a photo of a monkey can be used to register a SIM card. Heads up, theater fans! It's time to head to the cinema because British theater is coming to silver screens near you. The Cultural Center of the Philippines partners with both National Theatre Live, a London-based initiative that aims to take British theater all over the world, and Ayala Mall Cinemas to bring famous UK plays to local theater screens. CCP announces starting on September 26, the following productions will begin screening in the Philippines. The productions feature renowned performances of actors Benedict Cumberbatch, Emilia Clarke, Sir Ian McKellen, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. The productions will screen exclusively in Greenbelt Cinemas at 5:30 p.m., with regular tickets priced at 250 pesos and student tickets at 150 pesos. This season of CCP National Theatre Live will run until May 2024. Mexican lawmakers hear testimony that we are not alone in the universe and see the alleged remains of non-human beings. In the hearing, politicians were shown two artifacts that Mexican journalist and longtime UFO enthusiast Jaime Maussan claimed were the corpses of extraterrestrials. Maussan says the specimens were not related to any life on Earth. The two tiny bodies displayed in cases have 3 fingers on each hand and elongated heads. Maussan says they were recovered in Peru near the ancient Nazca lines in 2017. He adds they are about 1,000 years old, analyzed through a carbon dating process by Mexico's National Autonomous University. Similar such finds in the past have turned out to be the remains of mummified children. And that's today's wrap. I'm Ninel Yu. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.